Today, I'm excited to back on our screen to present a new video of this series of tutorials on NextJS authentication with NextAuth. In this video, I shared how you can implement the registration form with the email validation. Also, I shared how you can implement the forget password with email validation and reset password. Also, I shared how you can implement the email provider type of login. So before wasting more time, let's dive into the code. Here you can see I have shared a diagram how we implemented enter project, enter mechanism of NextAuth with the NextJS. I have added 3 individual pages, which is called register page, login page, forget password page, and finally the reset password page. So when someone try to register, he can register by using Google or GitHub. He can register by using email and the credential. When someone try to register using name, email, and password, he will receive an email, and if the email is verified, then he can only log in. And regarding the forget password page, we have defined a custom function like when someone hit the forget password, it will send to the custom API, and API will send an email validation link. And when someone click on the validation email token link, he will redirect to the verification API. After the verification API is successfully verified, this email authenticated and the request is authenticated, he will redirect to the reset password page. And after the reset password page is provided a new password, this reset password page will redirect to the API, and inside the API, user can reset his password. So this is the enter mechanism we are going to learn today. So thank you. Let's dive into the video. So to set up the email provider, we must need a SMTP to send email from our server, from our application to the client email. We must need a few extensions like node mailer, and also we have to create an email. Okay, let's move in the code, then we'll move it step by step. Very first, let's install the node mailer. So here is the node mailer. I'm going to install this yarn at. So our node mailer installation is ongoing. Now I'm going to create a SMTP. To create SMTP, I will take a hosting from a hosting provider. So I will use the DroneHost hosting for this project. They are using AWS server, the Google Cloud server, and DigitalOcean server. So these servers are great. So you can try the DroneHost hosting without any doubt. For my project, I will use the web hosting, and I will take this lowest one. Already I have domain, so I don't need purchase a domain. I will use my existing domain. But if you want to register a new domain, so you can register the new domain here. Or if you want to transfer the domain from another provider to DroneHost hosting, then you can click on the transfer your domain from another. So since I'm going to use my existing domain, so I will use my existing domain here. For now, I will take the annual package because annual package is more cheap than the monthly package. So here you can see I am logged in my server dashboard. This is my domain, and I will go to the mail, and I'll create an email account there. So here I have created an email account. So now I will go through the .env file and do some configuration. So dear friends, we have completed the .env configuration, and also we have created our email account. Now we will move to our next Auth API to integrate the email provider. So here you can see one more thing I was forgotten, which is port number, which is most important for to set up the email server for Next.js or any project. So especially here you can see we have added the email provider, and the server host is the email server host, and the port should be the email server port. We are using the 465 port, and for the authentication we use the email server user. That means this is the user, and the password, this is the password. And from email from, we use the email server from, this email from. Okay, so this is the email provider is completed. Then we have to do another thing, which is we have to call the session. We'll call the session, and inside the session we will call the strategy. So as a session strategy we are using ZWT. So we'll call the strategy nextjs. Yeah, you can use like 2 days, 24 hour, 60 minutes, and 60 seconds. Yeah, and the update is okay. So max should be 2 days, and update will be every. Okay, I can do 2 days, and max should 10 days. So 10 days should be validation time. After 10 days, the user will automatically log out, and the session will update after every 2 days. Okay, so this is the thing. Our NextAuth configuration is completed. Now we'll move to our front end. Okay, you can go to our folder structure, and here inside the form we have the email login form. This is our email login form. So inside the email login form we can use, yeah. So before the move ahead, I think we can test we are getting data from our form or not. Let's submit the email address, the example at gmail.com. Just going to let's check the console. Okay, no problem. Yeah, here is the console. If I click on the login with email, so here you can see our front end part is already complete, already working fine. And if you are new on this video, in this series of video tutorial, I have designed the forms in another video, so you can watch those video which is regarding designing a form. So after that you can move it. So let's integrate the form. So we don't need this. We will comment it out, and we will use the try catch here. And inside the try catch block, we are printing the error. No problem. Okay, so we will use their default sign-in function of NextAuth. And we will write there the provider as a login. Sorry, so as an email provider. So the sign-in function is a async await type of function. So we will call the await, and here we will assign the async. So we have integrated the email provider login system, and now let's try it. Yeah, so this is working fine. Here you can see the NextAuth telling me please check your email. A sign-in link has been sent to your email address. So I will go through my email address. So here you can see at the very first top of the email, I have received an email. Okay, so I'll go through and there is the link of sign in. So if I check the console, we can go through the dashboard and check it. Here you can see everything is working fine. So I have logged in. So this is the thing, guys. We are successfully integrated the email login. Now we will do some configuration, like if someone try to visit the login and register page, we will allow if the session is not available. But if the session is available, I mean if the user is already logged in, then the user is not able to visit the register and login page. And similar way, if the user already is logged in, he can visit the dashboard page and not allowed to visit the dashboard page if the user is not logged in. So let's do some tweaks on our front-end pages. First of all, let's go to the login page, and this all of the pages by default rendering by server side. So we will implement the server side session from NextAuth. Okay, async await. Yeah, the session. If the session is found, we will use the redirect. Next navigation. Dashboard. Okay, so if the session was found, then user will redirect to the dashboard. Fine. We can try it. Login. We can log in using Google or GitHub or anything else. Let's log in using email provider. Sorry, we'll use the provider. Yeah, there. Let's move to the Gmail and we'll receive an email there shortly. Yeah, we have received an email. Fine. Let's sign in. Okay. Here you can see already we have redirected to the dashboard page. So if I try to visit the login page, this side will not able to visit the login page because we have added the configuration there. So next, move to the register page. We'll do same thing on this page. Okay, so now user can't visit the register page once he logged in. And same way, we'll go through the dashboard page. We'll do the same thing. We're not going to use the server. We're not going to use the client side session. We will use the server side session. Same way. There should be async function, yeah, and async. And there, if the session is not found, then move this user to login. I mean, redirect this user to login. If we need to print this, we can print it, no problem. Session. Okay, so successfully we have logged into dashboard and we can't visit the register and login page anymore until we not logged out. See, if we logged out or sign out, we can visit the register and login page, no problem there, but we are not able to visit the dashboard page. You see, automatically redirect to the sign in page on login page. Okay, that was perfect. Now let's move to the register a user. To register a user, we have to create an API, email validation feature, and a API verify feature. So first of all, this is the component for credentials type of registration. Already we have designed. Here you can see, sorry. So here you can see inside our page. Yeah. So here is the register component, like name, email, and password. Already we have this. If you're new here, you can watch my other videos in this series of tutorial, how we have designed the front-end component like the register page, forget password page, and the login page with using React hook form and Tailwind. So very first, I have to create an API for the register user. So here is the API. Inside the API, we will create a folder called users, and inside the folder users, we will create another folder which is register. And inside the register, we will create a route.ts. Okay, so here is the basic configuration for this API route to register. So here we have implemented the next request and the next response. And this API route should be a post type of route because we are posting the data from our form to this API route. Okay, so we have implemented the next response and next request. After that, first of all, we will connect the database with our API. So we have connected the database. Now we will check the data which we are receiving from the form. So route creation is completed. Next, we will implement this route, API route, with our form. Here is the register form. So one more time, I should want to check the data is going through this handle submit form or not perfectly. So let's try it once a time. Go to register page, and here is the register page. We are going to do Android. So David. Okay, so we are getting data from form. There is no issue. And now we will implement the API with the form. I have implemented the try case. So our API link was API. Yes, there should be users and the register. Okay, type post perfectly, and we will print the error. So I must want after hitting the API, I will want to see the response of API. So to check the response from API, we will integrate a response, or we can call simple response. Okay, and that should be okay. No problem. We can call it response. Okay, that should be easy to understand. This is our response. Okay, that's it. That's perfect. And at the same time, we are going to check what we are getting from request body. So here you can see everything is perfect. Now we will receive the data inside our API if everything is perfectly working. So let's move to our form. This is our form. Let's click on register now. Okay. Yeah, so we are getting the result, the David, the name, password. Okay, perfectly. We have implemented the API route and the form, and we have connected through the API to route. Okay, so there is no issue. Now we are going to work on the route. First of all, we will do some validation. Okay, so if someone try to hit API without name or password or email from anywhere, so he will prevent, please, something is missing. So try to put all the field, then come again. So after that, we have validated first stage. Then we will convert our password into a hashed password. But before that, we have to validate this email address what user is providing, this email address unique or not. So if this email is already registered in our database, so we'll prevent and tell to the user, you have already registered, please try to log in and forget password. Okay, so check if the user is existing. Constant. So here you will call the user modals and use the find one. Yeah, we'll use the find one based on our email address which we are providing. Okay, we can write this way or we can just leave it simple email, no problem. Okay, and also we'll check the email address exists or not. So if I try it, then okay, we can validation, copy it and paste it here. If user exists, existing user, try login. Okay. If user is okay, fine. So if I once again try register now, we will not getting any error because this user is not exist. And one more thing I want to forget to tell you, which is you can see .env file. As you remember, we have implemented in our last video MongoDB live URL. I mean MongoDB Atlas in our last video, but for the development phase we are going to use the MongoDB Compass. After the development phase is completed, we will move to the MongoDB Atlas and implement with the AWS and Vercel. And I have created a database which is called NextAuth series. So since we are sending the plain password from our form, So we will convert our plain password to hashed password, which we received from our form. Okay, we don't need this anymore. Just remove it. Okay, fine. To generate the hash password, we will first generate salt and convert password to hashed password, and then sorry, this is the hash password, and then store to the database. This is the way next steps we are going to follow. So to generate the salt, we will use the bcrypt.js. bcrypt.js, and the salt should be 10 rounds. Okay, we will import the bcrypt.js. into bcrypt.js from bcrypt.js. Okay. We have generated the salt. Then we will convert our password to hashed password. Hashed password. We'll use the bcrypt.js and we will use the hash. And same time, we'll send the password. Here. Okay. So here you can see we have generated salt, and after that we have converted our regular password, the plain password, to hashed password. Now the time to store our user information to our database. So here I will save the user into database. So this should be user constant. Okay, so perfect. Let's try it. Okay, let's now check the database. In our Mongo database, this data is stored or not. As I told you earlier, we are going to use the local Mongo database for the development purpose. So we'll go to the Mongo compass. Yeah, so we are getting data inside the database. So our API, our form implementation, and the database implementation is completed. No issue there. Now next, move to the diagram. Now we have to implement the email validation. For email validation, we have to send email to the user email address. To send email, after the registration process is completed, after the registration process is completed, we will call a send email function here. Email to user. For send email, we will add a library. This is called send email. We'll go to the library file. Yeah. I'll call it custom function for send email.ts. Okay. So there is a mechanism I have to discuss before dive into the send email function, which is, you can see, we will send email for two types of mail purpose. Number one purpose is to send a email verification, and number two for receipt password verification. Okay, so I want to create this send email function, one send email function for two purpose. Number one for email validation for a new registered user, and number two for receipt password email validation. So to do this, we can implement an interface So to do this, we'll need few things like where we want to send the email. This email address we must need, and also there is a multiple type. For example, we are going to send the forget password email and the email validation email. So the email type, and we can define what kind of type this is. Then type should be one for forget password, and we can define another which is for email validation. Okay, so also we will use more data like email, like user ID string. Okay, this data we are going to use for our send email. Email type and the user ID, and we can define there the iProps. Okay, everything is perfect. Now to the email, from the API to email, we will send a token, and we can generate the token as a hash token by using our bcrypt.js. So let's go import the bcrypt.js first. Bcrypt.js from bcrypt.js. Okay. And so avoid future error, we can convert this user ID as a string to avoid the in future error. So constant converted to a string, and convert the ID to a string. This is called hash token, and we will implement a token expiration. We can call the date, and after that we can get the hours from the date, like token expiry, and get date, get hours, sorry, get hours, and the get hours should be, sorry, we can do the set hours, right? Set hours. We will use this get hours also, no problem. You can set hours, and set hours will be from the token expiry, I mean from the current time with the get hours and +5. That means if this is 2 p.m., then this token will set into our database, which is 7 p.m. Okay, now go to our modal. Here you can see the verify token, the verify token expiry, the forget password token, and the forget password token expiry. Now, since this is the verify token, that means the email validation for new user. So we will use the verify token. The verify token should be hash token. And the verify token expiry should be token expiry. Now we're going to store this information inside our database of a specific user. We'll use the update on function based on the ID. Based on the ID. We'll use the set method. Okay, that's it. So we can check it. And also inside our route, the API route, we can call the send email function. Okay, and send the information from there. Like we are going to send the email addresses, which is email, and email type. Email type should be email validation, and finally the user ID, which is new user, should be new user, and the ID. Okay, so now we can check it. If this is working fine, then that should be fine. We are going to add a new user here. Okay, register now. Okay, let's check. Refresh it. There is a new user. Here you can see the verify token is added. We have added the verify token, and the verify token is expiry. Okay, so perfectly we have added the verify token inside our database of a specific user. Now we have to implement the send email function. To send email function, we will go to the node mailer. To send email, we must need a transporter, and the transporter will send email to a specific user. So here is the transporter of node mailer. We'll import the node mailer. Okay, no problem. We can import the node mailer. I'm sorry for the type mistake. Node mailer from node mailer. Okay, perfect. This is a transporter, node mailer, get transport. So you remember we have the .env file. Here is the server host. We will call here the server host. I'll remove this process dot. Okay, this is our server host, and we can copy it and use it there, also use it there and there. And finally we can replace the port using this port and the password, and finally the user. Okay, and here you can see there is an error from TypeScript. The last value true. Okay, no problem. Is we can avoid this error by just calling as a string. No, there is an error getting. Okay, now let me check. We can use transport option. Okay, trans transport options. Okay, I think there should be a fixing way. Okay, we can do this. Transporter PO. Okay, sorry, typo mistake. Transport options. Okay, the issue is gone. Okay, perfect. So we have implemented the transporter. Now we have to implement the send email function. So before the send email function, we can configure the who is data we are going to send from the send email function to the email. It's constant mail options, and the mail options like what we are going to send, like from here you can see the, we can copy this from there and we can replace this. And to should be the email we are receiving from inside the function. Okay, the to should be this. And we don't need the text. We will use the body HTML from there. Okay, and the subject, just simply we just receive the validation email. I recommend you, when you are trying this code or try this on your project basis, you can change the subject as you want. Okay, so there is a question. We're going to send a link which comes with the token. Okay, so to send the link, we are going to generate a link constant token link. Okay, this should be a token link. So what we are going to send with the token link, the token link will comes with, for example, the our app URL, API, and the token link. Okay, this should be our link of the token, and there is different things like we are going to send the email type. So one for forget password and another for email validation. So what we can do, we can define this inside our token link, like after the API, I mean the secure for the verify API, we can do like this is a token type. Okay, we can call token type. Okay, so this way we can handle the link of this token to send the verification over his mail. So let's do it. That should be better to understand practically. If okay, this should be a client ID. Okay. NextAuth URL. So that means we have received our app URL by calling the process.env.nextAuth URL. After that, we will call slash, and what is our API URL? The API URL will call the API, and there should be a verify, I mean user verification API. So we will call the users and the should be verify. Okay. After the verify API, we will call the type. What type of token is this? So we'll call the type. So inside the type, we can do dynamically the email type. That means we are getting the email type. For example, you can email type equal forget password or email validation. Email type equal email validation. Okay. So like we are going to like this email validation, and after the email validation is we're getting, we will add and the rate and sign, and then token equal our token. This is the best way. So email type, then as I described here, there should be and then like the token, and inside the token we will use this, and not token, this should be hash token. This is the hash token. Okay. So this is the link we are going to send to the user email inbox. So this is the token link. Yeah, we're going to send right there. Okay. Verify this link. Okay. Token link. So that's it. This is a token link we have generated, and the mail options already we have created. Now we have to call the send email function to send email to the user mail. To call the send email function, we can use the await, and obviously we'll use the transporter. Okay, and after the transporter, we will call the send email function. Inside the send email, we will send the mail options. That's it. And if you want to know the status of the email sending, you can call the email send info and this. Okay, and we can console it, no problem. Also, if you want, you can return the email sending info. Okay. That's it. Now we can send email from our API endpoint to the client database. Client email. So let's try it. Okay, so before trying, I am going to reset the database. We are not going to use this, remove this. Okay, our database is clear. Okay, so here you can see we have received a validation email inside our mail inbox. That's nice. So if I make it a little more larger, I can see here is the verify link. Perfectly, I'm getting the verify link inside our mail. So nicely we're getting. Now we have to define a verify route to verify this link is perfect or not. To verify this link, we have to go the file manager, and here is API. Inside the API users, inside the users, we will call a folder. This is verify, and inside the verify, we will call a route.ts. That's it. Everything is fair and lovely. Yeah. Okay, I just copy it from the register route, and this should be get. We don't need anything else from there. Okay, perfect. Yeah. We're going to use this. So need to send email and user. Okay. Now we are going to verify the token is correct or not. So if I go through this link, you can see this link come with the token, a specific token. This is our token. So first of all, we have to cache this token inside our API. So to cache this token, we will use the search param of nextjs. Yeah, so request net query. This is for next URL and search param. So if I console this, you can see there is a search param. So next, what we are going to do, we are going to click on this link. Sorry, there should be an error. Okay, no, we are going to remove this, no problem. Yeah, VRIFI, verify users, verify. Okay, so we are getting this, no problem. We can change the text. Verification ongoing. So here you can see, if I refresh this link once again, the verification ongoing is appearing, and also we are getting the data inside our console, the search param, type, and token. And now the question is how we can get the data from the type and the token. So we will use the get method, token type, and we'll search param get, and after the get we'll use the token. Also we will use the token type. Sorry, token type. Yeah, the token. Okay, perfect. Now we can console this. What we are receiving, token and token type. So if I refresh this page once again, we'll see this is the token type is email validation and the token is this. Okay. So now the step is we have to validate this token is genuine or not. And even the token is genuine, we have to validate this token is expired or not. So to do this validation, we have to call the user model. Okay. Now you can use the find on. We have used this. Yeah. So this user is exist or not. We can copy this from there and use this. Okay. The user find on, and there should be not the email. We'll use the like the email validation or not. Okay. So we'll not use this, and we go to the user model. Should be verify token. Token, the verify token expiry. And how we can calculate the expiry? Okay, so to calculate the expiry, we can gt greater than date now. Okay, that's it. So now we can verify it, the token is perfect or not. So let's console this. If I refresh this, I can see the user we have found. That means we have verified. So what we can do, we can just change the token name. Little change the token name. I will see user is null. Okay, that means it's not matched. Perfectly, the API is working. So let's move ahead and go to the right URL again. Okay. So there is a question. We have to change the verify token data field to the undefined, and the verify token expiry should be undefined, because after the verification process is done, we are not store the data of verification token and the expiry, and the active status, the user active status from false to true. Okay, so what I can do there, I can like user dot active equal true, and the user verify token and the validation expiry should be undefined, and this should be undefined, and we have to save this. And user update, not user save, and user dot save. That's it. Sorry, save, not user, this should be user. Okay, so everything is done. If I refresh this, here you can see verify token. Okay, no problem. Refresh this. Verify token is complete. Removed, and verify token expiry also removed from database. And when we register a user, we have to define the new registered user should be the active. Active status should be false, because by this way we are going to prevent the user to log in using credential until he is verified by email. So to do this, we can go ahead, and here you can see new email, new user, perfect. And here we can do like active should be false. Yeah. Now let's remove this from our database. Next, try once again. This is my email address, and also I am going to remove this from our database, from our email. Okay, next, send email. Okay, so first test our database, refresh it. You can see user status, active status is false. So this is one way we are going to prevent this user if the user status activity status is false. Okay, and after he is validated the email, the user active status will be true. So let's move the email. We have received a validation email here, and if I click on this link, we will see ongoing. Okay, fine, and this active, and if I refresh it, okay, active is true, and the verification token, verification expiry is removed. So this is the way how we can verify a user, and how we can prevent user status from active to active true to false, and active false to true. So this is the verification. New user validation should be email is verified. Okay, now since we have removed the verification token from database, if I click on refresh, I will see an error. You see, cannot set properties of null. Everything is perfect. There is no issue. So our user verification is completed. Now next move to the forget password and the password resetting configuration. So here is our configuration for the password reset function. So we have already implemented the forget password form, and now we'll implement the API and the email verification. And already we're ongoing working on the API verify, and after that, after the verification is done, the page will show a reset password form, and once again hit the API to reset password. So first of all, go to this page and we will define this API, okay, step by step. So go move to the forget password component. This is our forget password component. If you go through our forget password, here you can see login, and here is the forget password. Okay, so let's check it if this is working fine or not. Okay, if I click on send request, I'll see the data in console. Yeah, so I'm receiving the data in console. That means the form is working perfectly. If you are new on this video, so I shared the link on the description of this series. So by clicking the link of this video, you can watch this, no problem. So this is our API, auth, and users, register, verify. Okay, so we can copy the register and paste it here, and also we can change the name to forget. Okay, we will reuse this perfectly. This is our forget password API, and in this API we will receive only our email, not anything else. So our email and also verify. Okay. So dear friends, here you can see we have called a post type of API, and also we have connect the data with the database, and after that we have validated this email is provided or not. If the email exists in the request, then we will try to find the email. This email is exist in a database or not. So if the email is not exist inside a database, then we will send a error message to user not found, user not found. Okay, yeah, if the user is found, then on email should be sent to the user email with the token link. So first of all, let's comment it and check this function is working or not. So I can try with the fake email, remove this, send. Okay, so here, fine. I can, first of all, I can console there. User is not available. Okay. If I send request, oh, sorry. I'm sorry, we have not defined the API there. Okay, you have to define the API. That should be fine. I apologize for this issue. I'm sorry, try case. Okay, we'll use the Axios. Okay, we will, first of all, we will call the response and await Axios. And this is a post type of call. And here should be API user and forget forget, and there should be users. Also, you have to import the XGS and define the async there. So issue is gone. Let me check. This is the API. What I defined, the forget or something is yeah, okay, no problem. And we'll send the data.email. At the same time, we can define their error any message, and we'll console this response. Okay, perfect. Now let's try it. Okay, request fail, stress 500, users forget, there is an issue is appearing. Anything I'm doing wrong? Data email route. Okay, go to the forget, and here we can check. I'm receiving email or not? No, I'm not receiving the email. That means there should be an issue to hitting the API. This API call is users and forget, F-word-G-T, forget, right? So you go to forget, API, users, forget. Okay, no problem. Everything is fair and lovely, right? Yeah. Localhost is an API, users, forget. Okay. So let's try one more time. Yeah, I'm getting the data, you see. So sometime if this kind of error is happening, you maybe try to restart your server or restart your PC, and then sometime this error is gone if you restart your server. So okay, so this issue is gone. So here you can see, if I click on the reset password, I am receiving there the email. I'm receiving the console from there, and each user is exist null. You can see is user is exist null, and we are getting the error user not found. Okay, so if user found, what happening next? If user found, then an email should be sent to the client email with the link. Now we have to go to the send email function. Here is our send email function, and email type not should be email validation. This should be forget password. Yeah. So as we remember, we have defined the function for email validation, not for the forget password. So we have to define the function for forget password. So to define the forget password, what we can do, we will keep everything this item same, because the hash token and the token expiry will be same. We can divide the function from there. This is for email validation. Okay, yeah, perfect. And this is for forget password. If the email validation, email type is like email validation, then should work like this. Okay, we can move to there. Yeah, and regarding the forget password, update user information. Yeah, so what we can do, we can do this, update user information, late. Yeah. Okay, so perfect, and we'll define the else if there. Else if the email validation and the forget password, because yeah, and there should be not form verify token. There should be different thing. Let's go to our user model and forget password token and forget password token expiry, and not verify token, this forget password token and the forget password token expiry. So we can optimize this code more better approach. We can do constant update user information equal if email type equal validation, then yeah, we will add this validation. Yeah, if not, then this. Okay, so you can see we have optimized our code more better approach and less code, because there is a lots of if else condition, not a good practice. Okay, fine. And we have not used this variable, so we don't need this. Transporter, modified type, token link. So let's try the forget password. Okay, let's try hit the send request button. Okay, as I can see here in the console, the email is gone through perfectly. And if I go through our email inbox, sorry, first check the database. Here you can see the forget password token is updated inside our database. And if I go through our email, you can see there is a new email, no reply, from no reply. This is the validation email. Fine. So our API is completed. The verification email is sent to the email inbox. Let's work with the verify API. Yeah, this is our verify API. So as we define, so here you can see this is the new user email validation. So what we can do, we can apply a condition like for email validation for new user, there should be another condition, and for the forget password should be other condition. So here is a new user validation. If token type equal So we have made the different condition. This condition is for email validation, and this condition is for forget password. So we will write this here. Okay, let's go our user model, and here I will define the forget password token. So here you can see this is the forget password token. We are going to match the forget password token with token and forget password token expiry with expiry. If the forget password token is matched, then the user information will be updated, and after that we can redirect this user to the reset password form. But let's first try the code if it's working perfectly or not. So just for now, for the testing purpose, I am going to commit this. You can see the email is verified. Okay, that means our data, our work, everything is perfect. So here we can add one more validation, like if user not found, then there should be an error appearing. So I forget it, I'm sorry for that. You can copy it and if user not found, okay, then next response and error should be user not found. Perfect. Also we will implement same thing there. If user not found, okay, if user found, then forget password. Okay, so here is our forget password also is completed. Now we have to redirect this user from the route of API verification to the reset password form. Return. Okay. But before use the redirect method, we have to remember we have to send the token with the URL. So before that, we have to design a receipt form for the user. Like when he tries to register, okay, we have to design a reset password field. So let's first design a reset password, and after that we will come back here and do the rest of work for redirection. So let's get a page. I just copy the register page and paste it once again here, and this should be reset password. Reset password. Okay, yeah, this is easy, you know, so I don't need this. Perfect. Reset password, and once again we are going to File Explorer. Here is our form, register form, and we are copy reset password. Let's change this to not register. Reset password, also reset password, and inside the page of reset password page, we are going to change the name of component. Yeah, reset password component. Fine. We don't need this anymore. Perfect. So if I check it, the reset password URL, you see the reset password. Now we can go to the reset password component and remove the field which is not important from us. We don't need the email, we don't need the name, we just need the password. And also I will remove this, the name and email, also the name. Okay, so everything is fair and lovely. This is a reset password and reset now. Reset now. Okay, so we have completed the design of reset password. Now let's move back to the API to use the redirect feature of reset password. Reset password. So if I go back to my mail and click on the link again, forget password, you can see Oh my god, URL is from, okay, no problem. Absolute URL. Yeah, so we have to like define like this way, constant next to the URL, and after that we will define the receipt password, and same time I will call this there. Okay, now this will be work. You see, when I click on the link, thus this verify method redirect me to the receipt password. But there was a question, and because how if someone come to the receipt password page, like you can see I can visit the receipt password page anytime. So how the receipt password page know this is the perfect user who want to reset his password? So to verify this, we have to send token from API to receipt password page. Yeah, when this user comes with the token and the token is not expired, that means the user is authenticated to resetting the password. So we have to add the token inside the link. We can write the token like as we this is the token, and since we have already verified this, right, because in this route, in this verification route, we already have verified this token is perfectly and not expired. So to do this, we can write like and the verify true. Okay, so this way we can validate this, the token is exist and the verify is true. That means the user is authenticated. Okay, so next move to the link again and click on this, the link here. Here you can see the receipt password comes with the password token, and end of the line of this text you can see the verified is true. So next let's move to our page, the forget password page. This is the forget password page, receipt password page. We will work there. Okay, so let's move ahead and we will implement the function there. Okay, so now let's console this. I'm getting the token perfectly or not, and the verify is perfectly or not. If I console this, I will see data in console. Here you can see the verify is true and token is available there. So if the token and the verification is not true, then I will redirect this user to another page. So we can add the use effect there. Also, we must need the use router to redirect the user. Okay, so I'm getting an error when I imported the used router. Let me check. Oh, sorry. The used router is a part of Next navigation. Okay, so perfect. There should be not error. Okay, so token verify. Okay, here we can implement if token is not found or verify not found, verify not equal true, verify not true, true, then we'll use the router push method to home page. Okay, so the use effect hook is working perfectly. So let me try. If the token is not found, like we can use the verify false. Okay, you see this page redirect to the home page. Okay, so perfectly we have implemented the feature of redirect, and we received the token, and also the status verify. Fine. Now we can add the token here, because we have to send the token to the API to once again verify this token is genuinely perfect, because we are not sure if someone write the fake token there. So this should be working. So we have to verify once again this token is genuinely perfect. Okay, so password and token. Also here we'll call okay, so everything is perfect. We can console response. Okay, fine. Now we have to define a API where the password receipt will working. Let's go to API, and here you can see the users. Okay, we can use the register API, copy this and paste this. Okay, and password receipt password. Okay, fine. So here we can call the users API, and same time we can open the receipt password route. So we'll receive their token and the password, not the email or anything else. If the token not found or the password not found, then should be showing an error. And open the verify. Fine. Now check the once again the token is correct or not. So to check the token, we can use this method we have already implemented there. I hope you remember. User find on this token, right? Verify. This is for receipt password. Okay. So here we can implement this. Fine. If user exists, then perfect, and token is not expired, then it will work. Existing, okay. If user not found, then bad request. Okay. Then, as you remember, now we have received the fresh and string type of password. So we have to once again convert this into the salt and store in our database. So here we have already converted the salt. So not the new user, this is the updating user, right? We'll nominate this, and this user exists. Fine. Okay. So here we will do some work. Forget password. Yeah. And the password. Let's move to the password. Yeah. Password should be hashed password. Yeah, that was perfect. Here you can see. So, so we have added the new password. I mean, replaced the old password with the new password, and also we have undefined the forget password token and forget password expiry token, and after that update the user. That means this way we are updating the user password with the new one. I mean, then user password reset successfully. So that's it. Let's check it. Okay, right. So once again, close this. We don't need this anymore. Fine. Let's go to the email and click on the link. Okay, so keep it there. Just try to log in with the old password. Oh, I don't remember the old password. No problem. Reset with the new password. Okay, so what is the resetting password? The new password I can write yeah. Okay, so this is our new password. Just click on the reset password. Perfect. And reset it. I can see everything is perfect. Oh, console response. Here I can see user password reset successfully. Now, after password resetting is completed, we have to redirect the user to another page like home page with a notification. We have not implemented the notification function yet, but we will implement the notification function later. But for now, the development page, we are checking everything, every information or every response inside our console. So no problem, we can move ahead with the console, and later after we can use the notification. Okay, so let's move ahead. We can try once more, console. Perfect, we can see, yeah, everything is working fine. And let's go to the login page. As you remember, we have used this password. Yeah, I'll paste it here. Perfect. Let's click on login. Okay, it's getting fine, but it's not getting me login. Let me check everything is working or not. Go to the NextAuth. Here I will find the provider, email provider. Yeah. Now we have to implement the login, I mean the credential login. Because we have not added the credential login, we have implemented the user registration and the forget password. So to add the user registration, so at the credential type of login, let's move to the NextAuth. Here you will find the configuration, provider, and and there should be credential. This is the credential type of login. Okay, fine. So we can copy it and paste in our code. This is the NextAuth API, by default API from NextAuth. We'll paste it here. Also, we'll import the credential provider instead of file. Okay, this is the perfect. So we don't need the comment out everything. We will remove everything from there. Also, we don't need any more of this. Perfect. Now we are so from the email, from the form of credential provider login, we have receiving the email address and password. So here we will add this should be username as this is as a string, okay, and the form password should be password. Okay, so from the form we are receiving the email address and the password, and this is the plain password, because when user writing the password there, he is not going to write using the hashed password. This is not impossible. So he will write the plain password. Okay, so we have to convert this plain password to hashed password. But before that, we have to check this email which user are providing. This email is genuine and authenticated or not. Okay, inside of database. So let's check it. First of all, we have to call the database connection. To call the TV connect. Okay, perfect. And let's keep it simple. Return. Okay. Now we have to verify the email is genuine or not. So we have implemented many in other code for the verification. We can copy it from there. Yeah. We don't need this anymore. Okay. We can implement this. Okay. Is constant. And the form email, we can write the form email there, no problem. And so not form email, this should be email. This should be email, should form email. So if the user not found, if user exists not found, then return is null. Okay, so after we have found the email inside a database, we can move ahead and check the password is valid or not. That is quite simple and very easy method. Okay, so constant is so since already we have get the user information, so we don't need to retype the user information once again. We can just verify the password is correct or not. So to do this, we can call the await. And you remember we have make the hashed password using bcrypt.js, so we will use the bcrypt.js here once again. And we will use the bcrypt.js compare feature. And this is the form password. And the password should be password. If password validation is not passed perfect way, then there should be an return null. I mean, user not able to logged in. So after pass every validation, we will call the return with the user. Okay, so perfect. And if you want, we can define separate way, like we can pass the information like user ID, email, and photo. So but for now we just leave it all data, no problem. So next, try to log in our password. Okay, fine. Somewhere we have stored the password, no problem. Forget password, yeah, done. Okay, so now we can try the forget password and the login, or we can try to log in with a fresh user. Better, we are going to try as a fresh user. First of all, we will remove this data from our database. Okay, so you can refresh it, there is no database data. Then go to the register. Okay, everything is perfect. Here you can see response. We're getting the response. It's success. So let's go to our email. And before that, let's check our database. So here you can see data is available inside our database, and the action is and the active is false. Also, the verification token and verify token expiry is available. Now let's go to the email inbox. There is a new email, verification mail, and I want to click on the link to verify this. So I've clicked, email is verified. Let's refresh this. Here you can see the active is true and the validation token is removed. Now let's try to log in. Here is my email ID. I will paste the password here, and this is my email. Let's try to log in. Okay, I think the login is working, no problem. Let me refresh it. Isn't working? Hi. If I try to log in, there is channel. Okay, so I will fix it by writing this like ID is to this user exist, and there should be ID and the name. If name not found, then should be anonymous, and email. Okay, fine. So I think there is an error, no problem. Credentials, yeah, perfect. Okay, let's try once again. It's my email ID and okay, so the password and login now. Okay, I think the issue I have done, I have not called the sign-in function in our login page, login component. So go to the login component, and here you can see we have not implemented the sign-in function of login. So let's implement the sign-in function of login form. Okay, we'll use the try catch there, and we will use the default sign-in function of NextAuth async, and there should be await sign from NextAuth, and here I will type the credentials. Okay, and after typing the credentials, we have to assign this is our email, this is our password, and we can do like redirect false or true. So to do this, after providing a credential, we will use a curly bracket there, and there should be like email and not email, right, and the password, not a password, perfect, and the redirect should be okay. We can do it like false. Okay, there is an error. Okay. Okay, no problem. So everything is perfect, fair and lovely. We can write the error there. Error messages, and we will type any. So this is the perfect. Okay, now we can console here like okay, perfect. Let's go to, and once again the login page, remove this. Okay, let's click on the login. You can see login is working. I think it's working. Okay, let me check, refresh it. There is an error. No. Sign in credentials. Yeah, everything's fine. There is no issue. I was not. Oh, sorry, I have not saved it. Okay, I save it right now. So let's go to the login and login now. Why is happening, bro? First, let's debug the credentials. I'm receiving perfectly or not. Okay, so this is the password. Login now, and okay, we are receiving the password, CSRF token, everything is perfect. So we are receiving the credentials, no issue there, and the email. Oh, sorry. We're receiving as an email, not as a username. Email, and there should be email. This is the mistake I've done. I'm sorry for this. Okay, so no problem. Let's try one more time to log in. Still something is wrong there. This is the password. The password, okay. Form password is user exist password. Okay, if user okay, is valid password, everything is perfect. Form email. Okay, let me check the user is found or not. Is sorry. Okay, let's log in now. Yeah, so user is found, and the password also is available. Let's test the password is matched or not. Exist. Okay. The password. What is the result from password? Okay, I think the issue is from password. The bcrypt.js. Okay, await bcrypt.js compare, find plain password is user exists. So why this is not passing? Let me check. The bcrypt.js importing is perfect. Oh, this is the error. I'm sorry for the issue. I have fixed it. I think now this will work smoothly. Login. Is valid password true. Okay, fine. So password validation is true. This is perfectly passed. No problem. Okay, so we're going to return this. Perfect. Okay, so now refresh this. Yeah, so here you can see it's working perfectly. So now sign out from this, and once again write the email address and password there, and try to save password and log in, and click on the login. If I click on the login, I can see I can log in successfully. So let's try the forget password. So I just send a request. Okay, so storage is done, and email also sent to this email address. So verification email, here you can see the verified type, forget password, token, blah blah blah. Okay, no issue, fine. So reset password is working. Okay, I don't need this save. Okay, fine. Yeah, I don't need the save, right? Yeah. So now we can write the new password. This is our old password, so we can write the new password, right? AABB. Okay, the new password. So reset password. So password resetting is completed. Here you can see password successfully. That sounds great. Even if I go to database, refresh this, so the data is removed, the token is removed from database. Now go to the login. No thanks, and let's try with the old password first. With my email address. If I refresh this, okay, fine. Right, now try with the new password. So our password reset password function is perfectly working, no issue there, and user login with the credentials, email provider, everything is perfectly completed, and also the email validation is also completed. So everything is perfectly done. Now we can implement the redirect after sign-in, like when someone or when a user try to log in using the email ID and the password, then the page will automatically redirect to the dashboard. So to do this, we do not use the redirect false. We can use the callback URL, which is default function of NextAuth, and we can write dashboard. I mean, after the login is successfully done, the callback URL should be dashboard. So to do this, we have implement the callback URL. Now you can see this was done. We will use the new password. This is the new password, and we will use our email. Perfect. So when I click the login now, this is the callback URL working fine. We are moving to dashboard. So everything is happily completed. So my friend, thanks for joining today. If you still did not like this video or comment this video, you can comment if you have any questions or doubt, or if you have any trouble when you are testing this code, you can ask me. Hi Sandeep, what is the problem? I will let you know if any bug or error in your code or my code. And thanks for today. And if you have not still subscribed, I highly recommend you. That will be a great pleasure for me if you subscribe my channel, and that will encourage me and to make new video for this channel to you. So thanks guys, thanks for everything. Have a great day. Bye bye, take care.